I heard that you were struggling with fear of missing out or FOMO, right? Don't you worry. By the end of this video, if you pay attention to the things that I say and actually start to play them in life and not just watch this video and get motivated, no, understand it and play in your life. I bet that in no time, this fear of yours will be faded because you no longer will be possessed by it, but you'll have it under your control. So let's get to the video, and I hope that you enjoy it. FOMO, fear of missing out, which is something that pretty much everybody struggles with it ever since they were a child and they unlocked this ability to compare until they die. And this is something that literally disables us from enjoying what we have. This is something that literally makes us suffer no matter where we are. And even when a friend of ours, somebody in our surroundings, achieves something, succeeds, and gets what we want to have, we feel jealous. We suffer deeply inside, and we would be like, yeah, I'm so happy for you. Really happy for you. It should have been me. Well, with having such fear and with struggling with this, you cannot take your life forward. I have this question for you. Have you ever thought that instead of feeling like you're behind, instead of feeling like others are ahead of you, instead of feeling that you're not where you're supposed to be, instead of having such thoughts and wasting your time with such thoughts, but you're not just wasting your time, you're wasting your energy as well. Instead of that, you could spend that energy on doing things that would make you feel more ahead. In fact, it's not like a fear happening to you, it's you choosing the fear. Now let's see how we can cure it. It's not just enough to be aware of it to cure it. First step, yes, indeed. You're supposed to accept every aspect. You're supposed to say, yes, I know that I am afraid of being behind. Yes, I do feel behind. I am scared that others are ahead of me. When I hear about somebody else's success, I get pieced. Okay, there are actually more things that only you do know, and it's only going to be between you, and you should face it. The first step to cure this is to face the things that are causing such fear happening to you. Because when you get aware of it, you no longer will be possessed by it. You're going to be aware, and now that you're aware, this is going to be under your control. Now, you do know that you have this fear of missing out. So what would be the second step? To go to the roots. What's the root of such feeling? For example, you might feel like, okay, I could do that, but I didn't, and this person did it, and they're now ahead of me, and now I feel behind, and wow, I'm a really miserable person. If you know that somebody else did more than you, then why are you not doing more? Why are you just sitting down, blaming yourself, and feeling bad about someone else's success when you could also have it if you had done what they did? Or, for example, maybe if you're a teenager or in your 20s, you would be like, everybody else is having fun in their life, going to parties, having fun with their partner, doing this, that. I'm so behind. Oh my god. Well, okay, body, listen to me. It's not about what they're doing, it's about your goal. What do you want to become? Where do you want to be in life? Maybe they don't have any goal and they just want to mess around. And do you call that fun? If you have a goal, you do know that when you don't go to parties, when you are not busy being in relationships, that's actually a great thing. You're not behind. You are in your own path. Everybody else has their own path. You do, I do, your friend does, your family does. It's different for everybody. You're not supposed to be doing what somebody else is doing. What you should do is to see your own goal and look at your own path. Your path is only for you. Nobody else can do what you can do in it, and nobody else is supposed to do what you're doing. If, for example, others are busy being a mess, and you feel behind looking at them being like, yeah, I'm such a boring teenager. Others are having so much fun. Meanwhile, I'm just doing this, studying, and that's all my life. That's your goal. And you're already doing what your goal requires to. You're not behind. Everything happens at the best time. If you trust the timing of the universe and understand that nothing happens without a reason, that is when you won't feel behind. I know it's easier to say than do it. I've also gone through it and I also had such struggle. That's why I'm saying it so easily now. Because once you start to go to the roots of your own purpose in life, once when you go to the roots of why you're having such fear, you'll see that it was never something happening to you, but it was you choosing it. If you feel behind, then do something about it. Work on yourself. Go do workouts, go do skincare, go study, go start a business. It's not about sitting down and fearing things. Even if you're failing and somebody else is succeeding, know that these failures will build up your success. Stop comparing yourself. There's a really famous quote that goes comparison? Yeah, comparison is thief of joy, and that is true. You know, if you can walk, it's someone else's dream to be able to walk, to have healthy legs. If you can speak English, it's also someone else's dream to speak English and understand English. You should count your little blessings, and that is when you will realize that you're not behind and you're also not ahead. You're exactly where you need to be. For example, back then I used to want a relationship so bad. I think I've said it another time as well. And I used to feel like, wow, look at everybody having their own boyfriends, having fun, getting presents and all that. And you have no idea how grateful I am that I didn't get my life partner because I wasn't qualified for a relationship yet. Maybe others were. Maybe others also decided to be in a relationship even when they weren't ready, even when they weren't qualified. But I knew my goal. I knew my purpose. I do know that if I want a relationship, I gotta be qualified. I gotta work on myself. I gotta be mentally stable so that I wouldn't mess up. And that doesn't make me behind those in a relationship, and that wouldn't make me ahead of those in a relationship. That would make me exactly aligned with my purpose, aligned with my path. Life is not about rushing things. Life is not about doing what others are doing. Life is not about being and feeling like how others are feeling. It's about looking at your goal, looking at where you want to be, and asking yourself, okay, let's say hypothetically, I am where I want to be. What are going to be my habits? What things am I going to be doing every day? So, to understand better whether you're actually aligned with your path or not, not behind, not ahead, but exactly where you need to be, just imagine yourself being the version that already has accomplished whatever you want to accomplish. Ask her, who do you hang out with? What are your habits? How do you start your day? How do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to people? What things do you study? What's the level of your knowledge? And when you ask these, you will realize that, oh, yeah, there are a lot of things that I gotta work on. And that is why I still haven't accomplished it. That is when you start to be accountable. That is when you start to be committed to your goal. When you have FOMO, when you have fear of missing out, it's because you're not committed, at least in your actions. I don't, well, it's a different story when it comes to your dream. That shows that you're not committed in your actions. It's just a thought, it's just a wish, which is not going to come true if you don't maybe align with your actions. And also, that means that you would rather struggle mentally than actually create whatever you want to create. It's like you would look at others who did what you didn't do, and you would feel bad about it, both for them and both for yourself, and then you would still choose to sit down and not do anything about it. That is the difference. Fear of missing out is not something normal. Even if it's common, doesn't mean that it's good. Of course, a small number of people own great achievements. A small number of people actually live life to the fullest. Why? Because everybody is busy just being in their heads than living. Just being busy, comparing, being jealous, envying others. Meanwhile, you could do different. Meanwhile, you could spend all your energy and invest it all on yourself and on the goal that you have. And I did explain fear of missing out in terms of life, but there's also some people thinking to themselves, wow, look at this person younger than me and knowing more than me and doing better than me already. Wow, perfect. I know it might hurt and be like, I could do better, but I told you that I trust God's timing. I trust the timing of life. And yes, in terms of this, maybe you weren't supposed to have the awareness that you have now back then. Maybe the awareness, if you had achieved this awareness back then, maybe you were even gonna give up on life. Maybe you were gonna get tired. Awareness and changing life for the better and understanding that you can do better and actually trying is like dying because the old version of you is dying. You are leveling up. Some people mistake this death with their own. And when their old version of them is dying and suffering because you're changing, you're leveling up, and you're getting better, they tend to kill themselves. So, whatever assumption you're gonna make on the fact that why you didn't know it earlier, why you didn't do earlier, or anything else, just trust the timing and believe that if you trust it and if you keep going, it is gonna be worth it. A wise man once said that the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and now the second best time is now. It's alright if you were having fear of missing out back then. It's alright even if you already are feeling it. But now that you're aware of it, and now that you're aware that you can put it under control, and you can actually create change and do things that finally take you to where you want to be by asking the version of you who already has it, what's their life like? And analyzing them all and finally bringing them to the present moment, that is when you wouldn't even recognize such feeling. You no longer would feel it, and eventually you will also help those struggling with it to cure it as well. And I would like to tell you one more thing as well. Remember that you do not need to wait for future to happen to feel good. In fact, today make sure to live and make sure to take every possible step for your dreams. It's like this. It's you. This is your goal, okay? You can only see one step. Only one thing that you can do today that will make you even 1% better. And then when you take the first step, the second step will appear. So don't worry. Those who did it also went through this. If somebody else seems happier than you, well, good for them. How great to see somebody happy. How great to see somebody who has gone through this journey is so happy. And it's showing that also you can feel that way too. So stop comparing and know that where you are now is exactly the perfect timing and exactly the best place to be in. And then start taking steps towards the goal that you have. I believe that you can do it, and I'm so thankful for you coming this far in this video. Thank you so much for all your love and support. I love you guys so much, and I will see you next time. Mwah!